In the last maybe 10 years, they have been making games with female leads that are just no good. And I really want to talk about the curse of the female leads in games. Before I continue, I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to be trying to finish this bottle of wine that I've had since my birthday, which was on the 14th of February, and it is now the 11th of March. So it just goes to show that I'm not much of a drinker, but I feel like I probably need a little bit of alcohol to talk about what I'm going to talk about. I really, really would like to see games that are led by females. And of course, there are games that are led by females in abundance. But I really, really, really would like to see a game led by a female character that's actually interesting. She's multifaceted. She is fun. She is not bland. That is what the gaming industry has been giving us for the longest time. Characters that are the complete opposite of the things that I just mentioned. Bland, angry, depressed, or just on this whole I'm gonna do it all by myself mentality, or just downright boring. Every game lately with a female lead has been that, and I don't understand if it is just they don't know how to create interesting female characters, which again is not necessarily true because we've had some great female leads, or if they're just choosing to go down this direction because it's trying to be woke. It is becoming such a problem for me because it is affecting my ability to enjoy a freaking game. There will be honorable mentions, but the two games that I'm going to cover today are going to be number one, Horizon Forbidden West. So I'm not going to talk too much because this is not a review of the game. This is me talking about the lead character. So I'm not going to go into too much detail of the story. I really want to just focus on the character, Aloy. So I'm currently playing Forbidden West. I feel like I should love it because I loved the first game. And I feel like I should be loving this game. I should be extremely excited, but I find lately that I'm dreading playing it. It has something to do with the gameplay, but it also has to do with the character that is leading this game. So if you've played the first game, then you know her backstory. You know that she was a pariah. You know that she wasn't around a lot of people. In fact, she was only around her guardian. And so she didn't have a lot of friends. You know, she was treated like crap. And so I can understand having a little bit of an issue with people and not knowing how to interact with people and not being happy and just being the miserable person that she is. In the first game, I got it because there were lots of questions about who she was, and it was a journey of self-discovery while discovering what was going on in the world, and I got it. I'm like, okay, it makes sense that she would be this way. Now, in the second game, she hasn't really evolved. I know that the second game doesn't stray too far from where the last one left off. At this point, there should be some character progression, and she, as far as I'm concerned, has got worse. She's not funny, she's not fun, she's not very interesting. Her interactions with people are very like, why would anyone want to hang out with you? And I know that's a bit mean, but I just don't understand why she has been, like, we're playing a game, it's supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have a character to enjoy playing. And if you think about it really, take away her mission, take away everything that Aloy has to do in these games. She is almost like a puppet that you just hang up at the end of the day. You've done what you need to do with her and you're just going to hang her up until you need to play with her again. That sounds really wrong, but you know what I mean. Why can't she have a personality underneath all that trauma? Why can't she be someone that is interesting and fun in spite of the things that she's gone through? Because we are playing, like I said, this character and you want to enjoy playing her, but as you progress with her, you just find yourself thinking, okay, I'm just going to get to the next mission because the missions are kind of fun. But she's just like, and don't even get me started on the character animations for this character. And I know that's not, it doesn't really have anything to do with how uninteresting she is, but it annoys me in this game. The way that I don't know what they've done to her. She looks like an idiot. I feel like the alcohol is making its move. I'm a lightweight, so the alcohol is moving through my body and I'm feeling a bit fresh and a bit something. The worst culprit when it comes to the boring female lead now, and I'm going to game number 2, Tomb Raider and Lara fucking Croft. You see how boring that introduction to game number 2 was? That is exactly how this game is. She is one of the most boring, if not the most boring characters that I have ever played. She is, oh my God. The lead character, Lara Croft, is awful. She is so boring. And anybody that thinks that she's interesting is lying, because she's not. Like, there's just nothing. There is nothing. Zero. There is nothing about this character that is interesting. And the worst part about it is they gave us 3 games full of this woman just being, I want to do it all by myself. I'm miserable because my dad died when I was a child, and I have been miserable. I have no friends, I have no life, I have no personality. I speak in this one tone. You know, it hurts me because I am a huge, huge, huge Lara Croft fan. I am a fan of the games. These worlds that she explores, and the fact that she is such tough, badass, interesting character. And in the older games, she had a personality. She had something about her besides being sexy. They're going to an extreme now, in the sense that because they are trying to de-sexify women and to make them feel more regular and real, they are changing them, not just the way that they look, which I'm cool with. I have no problem with that. Make them look more real, you know, that's fair enough. I mean, it's a game, but you know. The fact that they seem to think that this is what women are like, it's baffling to me. Does that mean that we as women are not fun and interesting? Does that mean that all we are is just bland and miserable, and you know, we just want to do everything by ourselves and we don't need any men because, you know, we're the best? Because that's what these games are. And in doing that, you are not only alienating majority of your audience, who happen to be men. For the people that stick around, it's just like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's Lara Croft, I'm going to play because it's Lara Croft and, you know, it's something to play. But by the end of the game, you're thinking like, this is just bullshit because that's what they've been giving us. The entirety of this trilogy is just her being sad and trying to alienate everyone because she misses her father. And look, I get it. Loss is hard. You move on, and it's not realistic to have a character that lost her dad when she was what, like 11, 12, and she's now in her mid-20s or early 20s, and she's still as sad as though it just happened. The higher ups demanded that they follow this story about her father, and that's what they did, and it wasn't good. They had a voice actor that was, she's so boring. One tone she's got. When she's angry, when she's excited, when she's scared.
He wants to alter the course of humanity.
It's almost like they just heard a girl with a British accent and thought, yeah, she'll do. And she's pretty, so let's hire her. Because I don't understand how she got this job. She's as boring as the boring character. It doesn't help. Let's do an honorable mention and let's talk about The Last of Us. So before you bite my head off, the first Last of Us game was fantastic. It is one of my favorite games. And the reason Ellie makes this game incredible, she has everything that you want in a female lead. The thing about it is they are in this apocalyptic world. There is misery everywhere. And so there's not really that much to joke about, to be happy about. But they find a way to create a world where Ellie is interesting. She is a smart aleck, she is feisty, she is strong, she's funny without being jokey funny, but she's funny. The interaction that she has with Joel, it just works. It's a great, great game. Now you might be wondering, like, I'm praising her, so what's the problem? My problem is they took everything that was good about Ellie and threw it away in the second game. Ellie became someone completely different. And I get that there are events that happened in the second game that led to her being as miserable as she was. But prior to those events, she was miserable. And even when she seemed like she should be happy, she wasn't. There was nothing left. Ellie died on that table in the hospital in the first game because the character they gave us in the second game was a reflection of the world that we were playing. She was done. These developers are confused. Either they don't know what to do with the female lead, or they are so obsessed with being woke and not creating an environment where people are going to complain, well, that's not what women are like. Well, that's not what they're like. So they just make them boring, because who's going to complain about boring? Are you a gamer? Have you been playing any of the games that I've mentioned? What do you think? What are your thoughts on these characters? Why do you think that these characters are made the way that they are? Did you find them as uninteresting as I do? I'd really, really like to know what your thoughts are. So leave a comment below. Please like, please share. Please subscribe, and please, 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 please come back and watch more videos. All right, see you soon. Bye. Starting with Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. What? What?